When Akira was a kid, he used to fight bullies much older than him for picking on another kid and his puppy, and he was calling himself a courageor, the superhero of justice. Akira woke up after having this dream. Kensho was checking the news while preparing breakfast, and because almost everything was about zombies, he thought there was no safe place left in Japan. However, he saw a news story saying that the self-defense force managed to isolate the zombies in Hokkaido, and was able to seal off access tunnels for a number of villages in the mountain. After hearing this, Akira thought that his family might still be safe, as Gunma was also a mountainous prefecture. Afterwards, Akira helped Kensho wash his hair after dyeing it. He was curious why Kensho went blonde. Kensho explained that, like Akira, he would start doing what he always wanted, and he thought that his hair color would have an impact once he became a comedian. Because Kensho mentioned his dream, Akira said that he wanted to become a superhero. Kensho was dumbfounded. Then he asked if it was a superhero like Spider-Man. So he explained that, because of his dream in the morning, he remembered that in his childhood he wanted to become a superhero, as he wanted to save people in danger without a reward while wearing a kick-ass costume. He thought it was a good idea, and he was excited to be a hero of justice who saves people from zombies. Kensho didn't try to stop him, but he reminded Akira that he couldn't fly or shoot webs. However, Akira took out his laptop while saying that he had been researching ways to fight zombies, and then he showed Kensho something before saying that they would start their preparations. The duo went to an aquarium in Shinagawa. The aquarium park was really in bad shape, and Kensho even thought he would piss himself if he saw the zombie-fied shark on the first day of the outbreak, while Akira was just excited to experience walking in the back rooms of the aquarium. They continued checking the rooms, and Akira was excited when they found the locker containing the shark suit. He started painting the suit, and he thought he would be a superhero from now on. At the same time, a group of survivors were stuck inside the bus, surrounded by zombies. The road was blocked by abandoned vehicles, and the driver thought their only option was to stay inside the bus and wait for the zombies around them to go away. Most of the survivors were worried, and one student was starting to panic, but they were still safe inside the bus. However, one of the survivors transformed into a zombie and attacked the person closest to him. Because of this, everyone panicked and ran outside the bus. Most of them were caught by zombies waiting outside, while the remaining survivors ran towards the aquarium. Although the female student was being chased by multiple zombies, she thought she would be safe once she reached the aquarium entrance. However, she tripped, and one of the zombies immediately pounced at her. But luckily, Akira showed up in his superhero costume and tackled the zombie. He introduced himself as a courageor, and the girl was speechless after seeing him. Then it is revealed that Akira's costume is a shark suit. It is made of titanium mesh that acts like chainmail, so even large sharks couldn't bite through it, and as long as he was wearing it, he would be invulnerable to zombie bites. After saving the girl from a group of zombies, Akira pointed the remaining survivors towards the aquarium entrance. He was surprised to see Ms. Risk Analyst among the group. He thought it was fate or a miracle, but she was just wondering if Akira is some sort of cosplayer. He got distracted after seeing her, giving a zombie the chance to attack him. Akira managed to hold back the zombie, and he thought it was his chance to show off to Ms. Risk Analyst. However, he was in extreme pain after the zombie had bitten him, and the other zombies immediately pounced on top of him. Although the zombies couldn't bite through his suit, he was in tears from pain because of their bite, and he asked Kensho to do something to help him. However, Kensho didn't want to get any closer to the zombies without the same suit as Akira. Akira somehow resisted the zombies, and he threw them one by one into the sea. However, he was more concerned that Ms. Risk Analyst looked weirded out by him, and he thought that it was actually hard to be a superhero. Inside the water park, the survivors were resting while the female student was crying in joy after surviving once more. At the same time, Akira joined them, and he was complaining to Kensho for not helping him, but Kensho just praised him for being a decent hero. Kensho noticed that Akira was staring at Ms. Risk Analyst, so he explained that they had met once before. Kensho immediately noticed that Akira liked her, and he urged him to talk to her. Akira was hesitant, but he still mustered some courage to talk to her. However, she doesn't seem to remember him, so Akira reminded her that they had met once in the convenience store. Then he introduced himself before trying to exchange contact information again. But she didn't let him finish his words, and instead, she asked what the benefit was of acting as a hero and risking his life to save some strangers. She also added that men who are typically unvalued by society and lack self-worth are the ones who wish to become heroes. Akira thought she was harsh, but he couldn't say anything, And when Kensho butted in and tried to argue that Akira had saved everyone, she argued that he just put himself and people close to him at risk by confronting the zombies. Both Akira and Kensho couldn't respond to her arguments, and they could only think that she is argumentative and difficult to please. Then she refused to exchange contact information again, saying that Akira would just lower her survival rate since he couldn't analyze the risks. At the same time, they suddenly felt an earthquake, and they also heard something breaking. Akira asked Kensho to follow him to check. Kensho followed hesitantly, while Ms. Risk Analyst stayed behind and started thinking about what she should do. The duo saw a creature coming out of the darkness. They were dumbfounded when they saw a shark, and they couldn't understand why it had legs. They were wondering if it was really a shark, but they didn't have time to figure it out as the creature immediately chased after them. Kensho immediately told the survivors to escape, and while watching the creature, Akira was thinking about what a hero would do in this situation. However, after seeing more zombie fish, he decided to escape with the others first. Kensho couldn't understand how a shark with feet was chasing them, so Ms. Risk Analyst explained that the divers the shark had eaten had probably turned into zombies and were moving the shark. Kensho thought it didn't make sense, but she couldn't understand how it was possible either. After escaping to the upper floor, they were surprised that the other survivors had stopped running away. However, there were actually zombies blocking their path, and while Ms. Risk Analyst was looking for the emergency exit, the zombie shark broke through the wall in front of them and devoured some of the survivors. After finding the emergency exit, Ms. Risk Analyst immediately told the survivors to escape through it. However, while she was trying to calm down the panicking female student, she was pushed aside and was unable to escape before the shark rammed the emergency exit's door. Akira immediately noticed that she was missing, and when she saw the female student repeatedly saying that it wasn't her fault, Akira realized that Ms. Risk Analyst was left behind during the commotion. Kensho tried to open the door again, but it was completely warped, so he asked Akira for help. However, Akira had already left to rescue Ms. Risk Analyst. At the same time, Ms. Risk Analyst had already accepted her fate, and she could only regret that she stayed with the big group where panic could easily spread. However, Akira suddenly showed up from the air vent and tackled the zombie shark before it could reach her. Although he managed to stop the shark from eating her, it easily overpowered him, and he was thrown away from its back when it started struggling. She was surprised that he came back, but she got upset when Akira said that he came back to save her. Akira stopped her from talking and said that he just wanted to help because he wanted to be a hero, similar to how men would try to get to know any cute girl they saw. She still couldn't understand why Akira would just do whatever he wanted, regardless of the circumstances. But she started working with Akira to deal with the zombie shark. She was certain that he didn't have a plan, so she suggested that he attract the shark's attention while she looked for some batteries they would use to electrify the shark in its sensitive sensory organ located in its head. Although it didn't take her much time to find the battery, Akira was having a hard time escaping the shark, and he was thrown away when the shark finally managed to hit him with its tail. However, when the shark was about to eat Akira, Kensho suddenly shouted to attract the shark's attention and started shaking his bare ass to provoke the shark. While Kensho was desperately dodging the shark's bite, Akira got up, and Ms. Risk Analyst arrived and threw the battery at Akira. Although she didn't know if their plan would work, Akira was determined to test it out. He punched the shark in the head while holding the batteries, discharging the electricity in its sensory organ. Akira called his punch his Crackle Thunder Punch, and it was enough to kill the shark. He was excited because of this, so he immediately asked Kensho and Ms. Risk Analyst how his move was. Kensho was impressed, and he thought Akira was really a superhero now, while Ms. Risk Analyst, who was still catching her breath, thought that Akira really had a bad taste in names. The three left the aquarium without saying anything to the other survivors, as Akira thought that it is how real superheroes act. While Ms. Risk Analyst said that it was just a coincidence that she was in the same bus as the other survivors. Then she also added that she was done with big groups. Kensho gave Akira a hint, saying that the two of them made a great team. However, she had already refused before he could finish his sentence. Kensho urged Akira to keep trying, but she explained that her priority was to do things to avoid becoming zombies, while the two were just doing everything they wanted before turning into zombies, so their methods weren't compatible. And she emphasized that Akira still risked people precious to him to save a stranger like her despite her warnings. However, Akira told her that she was already someone precious to him, adding that he would save her even if he was not trying to be a hero. She blushed and was unable to respond after hearing this. Before parting ways, Akira asked what her plan was, so she explained that she would look for a safe and sustainable place. Then she finally gave Akira her contact information, saying that since it wasn't certain that they would meet again, there wasn't much risk in sharing it with him. Then it was revealed that Ms. Risk Analyst's name was Shizuka Mikazuki. Afterwards, the duo decided to head to Gunma to meet Akira's parents. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe and look forward to the next part.